I thought this was the perfect shirt to wear for my Valentine's Day video because like it's all love hearty. And anyway, I can't work out my camera, so you get my head instead of my shirt. I did a poll on Instagram where I said I wanted to do a Valentine's Day video about 5 romances, and I said, did you all want a 5 underrated romance video? Did you want a 5 romance books on my TBR or a 5 romance releases coming out this year? And the highest vote was underrated romance. I'll put that here. So without further ado, what I've done is I've gone through my read books on Goodreads and I've chosen 5 books that are under 1,000 ratings. Only under 1,000 people have read them. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so I'm gonna start off with, let's just go from the bottom to the top. Let's start off with From LA to London with Love by Elizabeth Lully. I actually was sent this as a ARC, and that does not mean that doesn't like hinder, it doesn't sway my decision on why I like it. Most of these books I realized they are ARCs, but that just means that I'm liking them. I have rated ARCs 2 stars, 0 stars before, so just because they're ARCs doesn't mean that I'm getting paid or anything to say read these books. It's just, I like these books and I want more people to talk about them because they don't have enough hype. So let's go back to the book. So From LA to London with Love by Elizabeth Lully. This only has 45 ratings on Goodreads. So only 45 people have read this book. And I am so touched to be one of them. So basically this is a nice little rom-com. Also with all these books that I'm talking about, I try to focus more on romance than I have eroticas. The one erotica has slipped in though. But I really enjoyed the romance behind it, so don't at me. This was sort of rom-com-y. So this is, I cannot remember who this is about. I never remember names, I'm so sorry. So this is about Sophie, right? Sophie is a single mum living in London. She's bisexual. She actually chose to be a single mum, so she didn't leave the husband or the baby daddy. She chose to do IVF without a partner, which, first of all, holy crap, that's insane. Like, good for you. Like, that's amazing. So she's got her hands full with a baby son, and she wants to start off this new business venture, which is kind of helping out queer kids in the community that doesn't have the support from families. So like they become the support sort of thing, I think. Is that right? There is that sort of aspect in it though. Anyway, so she runs into like literally movie star Chris Trent, who I was like picturing Henry Cavill this whole time, like reading this book. Chris Trent has been publicly humiliated, so he has ran away from America to London, and he's doing this like period drama, sort of like Bridgerton, to kind of get back into the public's good graces. Him and Sophie kind of form this connection. I love the romance between them. I love the conversations that was happening in this book as well. There's this one quote that I just could not get over. I actually put it in my review. You don't need to prove your queerness to anyone. One of the awesome things about being attracted to more than one gender is that we have more choice. Don't let societal prejudice limit that. And I thought that was humiliating. I thought that was amazing. Yeah, it's like touches on topics like biphobia and are you still queer even if you're dating a cis-het male. Geez. Really think more people should read this book, and the author is Australian too, and I think she's based in Melbourne. So yeah, it was just a fun time, and if you're wanting some rom-com vibes, definitely pick this up. It's closed door. There's some chocolate play though. Good time. Now the next book I want to talk about, I was actually sent an ARC as well. So It's Always Been You by Ellen and Elise. So this is asexual rep in this one. So basically this book, back in the day in high school, you had these two girls who absolutely hate each other. They just did not see eye to eye. Something happened. I believe one of them spread a big rumor about the other one, and like, so she was like shunned by society. Come to present day, the girl that was shunned is out and proud asexual. She works at like an asexual hotline, and she gets this new roommate. She gets the new neighbor, the bully from high school, and they kind of have some run-ins, and there's also like a pact, I think, that gets made. One night while the main character like manning the hotline, she gets a call from this person who sounds very familiar, and she kind of figures out it is Sophie from next door, but she doesn't want to like tell Sophie that she knows it's her. And so it's kind of like this secret about them, like she knows it's Sophie, but Sophie doesn't know that Courtney is like, actually Sophie doesn't know that Courtney is asexual because it never really came up, and they keep going on these like weird like non-date sort of things. Anyway, I really enjoyed this book. There's actually like some pranking involved, and like there's a reality style TV show involved too, so it's a really fun time. This was my first book, I think, that I read where it had asexuality in it. Like books like this shouldn't be like my information, but it did give me information. It's a really good book. It is number 3 in the series, but you don't need to read any of the other books. So good. Definitely go pick it up. Next one on my list is The 12 Dates of Christmas by Rilsey Adams. So this is the only one on my list that I did not get an arc for. Rilsey Adams is probably one of my favorite authors. She just writes really good smart, basically. So this is a Christmas novella. It's Christmas romance. So you've Second Chance as well as Friends to Lovers. So basically you've got Rashad and Zia, and back in the day they had like this really steamy one night stand just before Zia left and never came back, basically. So it's been 6 years. She comes back and Rashad's like, we had such great chemistry, we should get back together, and like, well, not get back, we should get together. She's like, our friendship's really good, like why would we ruin that sort of thing? But she's also kind of like, I've been thinking about you this whole time, like Dick's great. So they kind of make a pact where they go on these 12 dates. It was really good. I really enjoyed the romance between the two and the conversations and just the atmosphere of this book. I loved it so much, and such a great book to read around the Christmas time as well. Second to the top, we've got A Highlander for Hannah by Mary Warren. This was sent to me an arc from the author, so thank you so much, Mary, for this. So this was such a good time. This says plus size rep. You've got the Scottish rep. It's kind of like Outlander in reverse, where he's from Scotland and then whatever, and he gets thrown in forward. She kind of quits a job because she's sick of the fat phobic bosses and the company, and then she comes home and she breaks up with her boyfriend because he's just lazing about, and she's like, you got nothing to offer. So she breaks up with her boyfriend, quits her job, and goes home to the country to just kind of work on herself and her novel. And while she's there, her and her best friend go to this Ren fair, and they meet this witch, and they're like, yo, do you have like a love potion or something? And they're like, yeah, sure. Anyway, turns out it was real, and this Scottish guy, is his name? No, so his name's Graham. So Graham comes from 1745. They absolutely hate each other. They cannot stand each other. She sort of like gets him acquainted with their world while trying to figure out how to get him back to his world. And there is a bit of miscommunication in this one, but I don't know, there's just something about these two that I absolutely loved. And I really, really enjoyed this book. I love the conversation about the fat phobia as well. I'm so sorry. I'm going to turn that off. Just stop talking, please. Definitely there's a conversation between her and her mum. Her mum's fat phobic, basically. And even though she doesn't realize that she's fat phobic, and I related. Really, really enjoyed this. And the makeup after the third act breakup was so good. I really, really enjoyed it, and I can't get over it. And yeah, I forgot I was supposed to be saying the ratings. So It's Always Been You by Ellen and Annalise only had 138 ratings, and then 12 Dates of Christmas had 233 ratings, and then Highlander for Hannah has 517 ratings, and then last but not least, I'm gonna sound like a broken record, Second Star to the Left by Megan Van Dyke. This only has like 955 ratings on Goodreads. This needs so much more. It deserves so much more. So this is a Tink and Hook love story reimagining. You've got action, you've got adventure, you've got deceit, you've got sexy times, you've got pirates, you've got mermaids, and it's just, I really wish more people talked about this book. So Tink here has been thrown out of her world basically because she's been accused of selling pixie dust, which is like the hottest new drug on the market at the moment. So she's gone to like the Mermaid Queen, be like, hey, I need something from you. What can I do for you? So you can, what can, like basically returning favors, whatever. And so the Mermaid Queen is like, you can go to Captain James Hook and steal back what he stole from me. And so she does. And while she's trying to steal it back from him, she kind of like kisses him, and like there's this amazing spark between them, and then she deceives him, and then she goes. And now James Hook is like running around like he's like, she's put this curse on me, like all I can see is her, and like the storms are always following me, so I can never have a good ride, and my ship and my crew are all in trouble, and I just need to find her to get this curse taken off me. And then like once he actually finds her, she's like, I didn't put a curse on you. And he's like, wait, what? Like, then why am I seeing you everywhere? And it's like, dude, you love her. Anyway, so they then both go to the Mermaid Queen to find out how to get rid of this curse and to help Tink. It's such a fun time. So they have to work together. The way they went from like not enemies, but like rivals to like the lovers, like they went like from friends to lovers, and it was just, I really love this book, and I really want more people to talk about. I only know one other person like personally that have read this book, so please pick up this book. If that's the last thing that I do is make you pick up this book. Anyway, so that was my 5 underrated romance recommendations for your Valentine's Day viewing. All of these books I talked about were under 1,000 ratings on Goodreads, so definitely go check them out because they are bangers. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos by me. You can also add me on Goodreads, Instagram, and Twitter if you want to be my friend. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Happy Valentine's Day. Bye.